Intel Core Ultra 9285K CPU hits record 7.5 GHz frequency on ASUS ROG Maximus Z890 Apex. Memory reaches 12,066 mounts. Overclockers are already breaking world records on the latest Intel platforms, reaching 7.5 GHz clock speeds on the Core Ultra 9285K CPU. ASUS ROG Maximus Z890 Apex takes the lead with incredible overclocking potential for both CPU and DDR5 memory. Intel has just launched its Core Ultra 200S processors for desktops, and overclockers have already started breaking world records. While we are still in the early phase of overclocking the Core Ultra 200S processors, it looks like ASUS ROG Maximus Z890 Apex has proved itself to be worthy of being one of the best Z890 motherboards. The ROG Maximus Z890 Apex is among enthusiast-grade Z890 boards from ASUS and brings a solid 27 power phase VRM. With the help of advanced cooling solutions, it was able to push the clock speeds of both the CPU and RAM to insanely high numbers, which we haven't seen before. ASUS just published a blog post, boasting about the numbers its Z890 Apex was able to reach with overclocking. The overclocker Elmer used iLane 2.by3D Systems, Diabetics, Elmer Labs, and Scatterbencher to set up a liquid helium cooling solution for the CPU. With this, he was able to achieve a whopping 7,488.8 MHz of clock speed on the Core Ultra 9285K. The Core Ultra 9285K is the flagship Arrow Lake chip in the Core Ultra 200S series and brings a 5.7 MHz turbo boost frequency. So, that's a straight 1.8 GHz jump, which also broke many world records. In multiple synthetic benchmarks, the Core Ultra 9285K at 7.5 GHz scored the highest numbers, including the clock itself, along with the highest scores in trademark CPU profile 1T, 2T, 4T, and 8T. ASUS said, veterans of the overclocking scene won't be surprised to learn that these records were achieved with an Apex board on the bench. This motherboard series has an undeniable pedigree. Since the very first model, we've designed Apex motherboards for the singular. Our purpose of helping the world's most talented overclockers shatter barriers on their way to new records. As of now, the ROG Maximus Z890 Apex has secured 5 world records, 19 global first places, and 31 first places. Apart from the CPU frequency record, the Apex board also helped reach 60,840 points in Cinebench 23 by benchmark. Moreover, the board has also registered the highest DDR5 speed ever, breaking the 12,000 mount S mark. The overclocked benchmark successfully overclocked its QDIM DDR5 frequency to 12,066 mount S, which is insanely high and breaks even the latest V-Color QDIM record of 10,600 mount S on Gigabyte ASUS Z890-Nice. ASUS claims that they were themselves able to achieve 10,266 mount S at CAS46, but benchmark did an amazing job in breaking the 12,000 mount S mark before everyone. The ROG Maximus Z890 Apex brings only 2 XDIMMs and Gear 2, that is, a 2:1 ratio instead of Gear 4 for memory, which is the default for most Z890 motherboards. As per the benchmarks, ASUS says that this reduces the latency significantly and the performance difference is noticeable in both synthetic benchmarks and gaming. However, at the moment we don't know how much of a good job 12,066 mount S will do for gaming, but it is fast. Typically, world records for clock speeds aren't achieved for achieving the highest FPS in games, but rather, it's a hobby for enthusiasts, which the ROG Maximus Z890 Apex is apparently helping with.